So you guys are here because we are the Louisiana Biomedical Research Network is offering funding for students and faculty to conduct biomedical research over the summer here at LSU. The administrative core for our group is we're all here at LSU, and it consists of me and these other three people at the top of the chat here. And so I guess we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves first. And it's also us and our along with the program director, Dr. Kasoulis, who he's not on this meeting this morning. But my name is Danielle. I am the program administrator, and that means that I oversee, I guess, all of the organization, the general organization of our group. I try to keep everybody on task, keep things moving, and I think most importantly, since we span all across Louisiana, try to keep everybody on the same page. So.
And I'm Brent Stanfield. I'm the program coordinator of the LBRN. I function primarily to facilitate scientific discussion with our faculty and student interested in our funding opportunities. I discuss eligibility and potential different aspects of the funding as it pertains to new applications, as well as reviewing current works in progress from our funded projects. So yeah, it's nice to see everybody who's interested in the summer research program. It's going to be a great year. I hope you all apply.
My name is John Quibido. I'm the computer manager for the grant. I've been the computer manager since 2002, so it's a little while. I handle all of our computational aspects and communication. So setting this up, doing the surveys, the applications, all the website stuff, a lot of stuff in the background. So I bring a lot of history with me of how this program's worked in the past. So a lot of times Danielle will ask me, how did we do this? And I'll give her my 2 cents of how we did it, or how we might have done it, or in different iterations over time. So I'm happy for us to be back in person for this summer. I see you. And I know a lot of the previous faculty and some students. But we do have students that have attended the program multiple times in the past when we were in person. So that's a question that comes up. If I participate one summer, can I come back another summer? So yeah, the answer is yes, it's possible. Nayeon.
My name is Nayeon Kim. I'm a member of the admin core of LBRN, and also the BBC core, which is a bioinformatics, biostatistics, and computational biology core. I also in the associate director of that. So happy to support you guys here. So again, the successful result. Thank you.
All right. So like I said, we make up the administrative core along with our program director, Dr. Kasoulis. And you can get in touch with us anytime. John, if you can put this in the chat, at our email address, lbrn@lsu.edu. It's here on the slide as well. And one of us is happy to answer any of your questions about the program if you have more. We're also going to be, after this session, emailing out a recording either of this session or the one that we did last week. So you guys will have access to this information. It'll be posted on our website. So let's get started. Okay. All right. So who are we? We are the Louisiana Biomedical Research Network. And I'm actually going to skip ahead here. Louisiana is eligible for special funding through the National Institute of Health and through the National Institute of General Medical Sciences as an IDEA state. So the NIH recognizes these states that have a higher need for funding because they historically don't receive the same kind of money that other bigger states get to conduct research. So it's Louisiana, and then there are 22 other states and Puerto Rico that are considered IDEA states that receive this specific funding type. Big states like California and Texas have a lot of other funding opportunities, and therefore
Just stand by for a moment. While we wait for her to reconnect, if you're an undergraduate student, the one question we didn't ask yet is if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, and what kind of senior? If you're actually graduating this semester, or do you graduate after this summer? Preferably you're graduating after this semester. Great. So everyone who has responded to this poll, you're perfect. Okay, freshmen, if you're an incoming freshman, you need to have the basics. In order to work in a lab, the mentors want you to have some basic lab courses under your belt and some basic courses. So that can always be an issue, whether you're a first semester freshman or you're a second semester freshman, can make a huge difference on being eligible for the program. You can still apply and submit your transcript, because what you take this semester will obviously count towards this summer. She was talking about the Institutional Development Award that our state is eligible for. Some of the other states like Texas already have their fair share of money from NIH, so they're not eligible for this program. What's unique about Louisiana in this list of states that she was showing was that we're at the top of that list in terms of we're almost not eligible. We're that good. So that's a good place to be. We have excellent faculty who apply. We do get a lot of NIH funding as it is. So it's a nice place to be, because then we're eligible for this funding. It is competitive. We have to renew every 5 years. And Danielle is back.
happy Monday, you guys. I'm the person that organizes everything. I'm so sorry to make you guys hold your breath when I was just getting into this really juicy stuff
Yeah, I already
about our
told him.
funding mechanism.
Yeah, I think you can skip to the next slide. I talked about it.
Okay, great. So, we're an IDEA eligible state. We're eligible for special funding to kind of level the playing field. Did you talk about NBRAs?
Just in general that we're eligible for this funding, and as opposed to Texas and other states that are not, because they already get their fair share of NIH money.
Okay, right. That's great. So we are the NBRA. We receive funding to conduct biomedical research in Louisiana. We're the only one in Louisiana. I wanted to mention that the funding from the NIH goes to LSU, but it is not for us. It comes here because we have the facilities and the personnel to handle a grant of this size. And it's not just our administrative core. We have accountants and we have pre-grant managers and post-grant managers that make sure we're following all of the little nitty-gritty rules that we have to do when we get this type of funding. So like I said, it comes through us, but the grant is not for us. It is for us to distribute to students and faculty, researchers across Louisiana. We really want to fund you guys. We have to, because if we don't, then the people giving us money will wonder why we didn't spend all of it, and why do we need it if we're not spending it. So we're getting this, but we really want to give it to you guys. And we do that through a couple of different programs. We have our annual funding cycle, which is for our 8 major campuses in Louisiana. That's Xavier, Grambling, Southern, Southeastern, LA Tech, ULM, LSU Shreveport, and
UNO.
UNO is our newest one. They're eligible to receive funding throughout the year because they have the facilities to accommodate research at their institution. Now, the summer research program that we do every year that we're talking about today is for everyone. And we really want to put those funds into smaller institutions for students who need to travel a little bit, who need to come to a flagship institution that has the facilities for you to get lab experience and conduct research. So that's what you guys are applying for. All of our programs are for primarily undergraduate institutions, and we accommodate a range of interests from bioinformatics, computational biology, data science, molecular and cell biology. If you can make it fit into the realm of biomedical sciences, then that's what we're looking for. So who can participate? Anyone. You have to be at a Louisiana institution. You can't be attending school out of state and just home for the summer. You need to be at a Louisiana school. John talked about freshmen, right? Incoming freshmen. You don't have to have any previous lab experience, but you do just have to have some basic understanding of biology, right? Have taken some basic courses.
Yeah, the first semester courses are important. The initial lab course, the mentors are going to look for that for the freshmen. So it is, and actually it could be that maybe in high school you've got some of that too, but they don't get your high school transcripts. So they're going to be looking at the transcripts and stuff. They want you to have the basics.
Mm-hmm. And then we didn't have any graduating seniors, right? Okay, so then we won't worry about that. We are not accepting applicants from LSU or from Tulane because, again,
I'm a graduating senior, but next semester. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
is that
No, that's fine. Yeah,
that's all?
if it's next semester, you're fine. The reason
Okay.
why, I'm gonna mention it, Danielle. The reason why we mention graduating seniors is if you graduate this semester, that means during the summer, you're not in school. We cannot fund someone who's not in school. So if you, for those graduating seniors that have lined up graduate school in Louisiana, and you've got proof that you've been accepted, then we can take you as an undergraduate for the summer, but otherwise we can't take a graduating senior.
So you should be good. Good call, graduating in the fall. That's what I did too. So yes, we also do not accept students from LSU or Tulane because these schools receive ample funding opportunities. And just like our funders want to make research and education more equitable in the country, we want to make it more equitable in our state. So we are trying to, we really, again, especially for the summer program, want to fund these smaller schools. A question?
Yeah, so this time you are holding it only at LSU Baton Rouge, or is it that we can hold it at LSU Shreveport as well? In more specifically, do they need to travel to Baton Rouge or?
Yes, because we're just coming out of COVID and we're getting
Yes.
back into the swing of being in person. We're doing everything at LSU, Baton Rouge, or Pennington. There are options, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, about going to the health science centers in Shreveport or New Orleans. But
Okay.
we really, mostly just for ease of funding, in order to make sure that we
Yes.
can get get our money in a timely manner.
But also, we're going back to the model where the participants are learning at a mentoring lab off campus and bringing that knowledge back to their campus. That was the whole, that is a very strong component of the summer program.
Okay, so two parts of this question was that means that they can do it at LSU Health Shreveport or what are the campuses in which it is permitted?
So we're going to address that in a further next slide. a
Oh,
couple
I'm
of
sorry.
slides. So we'll
I'm
get to
sorry.
that.
Oh, it's okay.
So we'll get to that shortly.
Sure, sure.
And then if we don't cover enough of it, then
Of course.
I think we'll address it. These are the campuses across Louisiana that we have funded before. You do have to, someone from a campus has to receive funding in order to get on the map. So if you don't see your institution, we're really excited for you to apply because we want to light this baby up. We want to fund everybody, right? We want to expand our reach as much as possible. All right, where can research be done? This year, like we just said, we are really concentrating on having people come to Baton Rouge. What's great about that is that we can provide housing for you. When you come do research at LSU or at Pennington, you will be housed at LSU's West Campus apartments. They are shared apartments. Everyone gets a private room. You'll have 2 or 3 other people from the program or potentially from other undergraduate research programs rooming with you. If you don't have a vehicle, there's on-campus transportation. The way that we put you guys together is we try to make sure that there's a car for every apartment unit in every group. And everything is on campus. There's a grocery store on campus. There's a ton of stuff to do. So we'll make sure that those accommodations are made and covered for you guys. Now you can apply to conduct research at LSU Health in New Orleans or Shreveport, but for these housing is not going to be provided. This is more for people who live in those areas that will be able to commute. And we are, I think those will be pretty competitive spots because we are really, really trying to prioritize people traveling and doing mentored research here. Any other questions about that?
Yes, so if I'm a faculty at LSU Shreveport, not at LSU Baton Rouge or LSU Health Shreveport, so what are my options of mentoring? So if I have, suppose, some undergrad and grad students, so can I still mentor students even though they are going to LSU Health or LSU Baton Rouge?
So I think, are you asking with regard to a faculty award or?
If he can mentor students.
No,
Any award?
no,
They-
you can't. The mentor has to be at the health science campus.
Okay.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
if they're your students, of course, you can be involved in their research, but the idea is that, they have faculty and an established research lab at a more NIH competitive university where they can learn a new technique or a new skill and then bring that back to your lab.
Oh, so then that leads to me the second question is that, but I as a faculty can be a mentee with
Yes.
with a senior faculty at LSU
Yes.
Health Shreveport or
Yes,
LSU.
and for you, it doesn't matter who you collaborate with,
Okay,
who your mentor is. I know it's faculty just like throws all the rules out the window. It's a special case for you guys.
yeah,
Yes,
so this
faculty
does,
award- faculty awards are issued as subawards, and your mentor can be somebody at your your own campus, but the idea is they need to be an appropriate mentor. So, you know, somebody where, because the faculty summer research program is still intended for faculty to develop maybe a new direction for their research, or you know, acquire some new techniques or something over the summer, in which, you know, you would be mentored by another faculty who has a track record of that field of research or technique.
Perfect. So you're accepting in applications from students as well as faculty for the summer research program?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and we already talked about most of this. For graduate and undergraduate students, support and housing are included. You will obtain a mentor at the institution that you're going to, and we'll talk about that in depth in a little bit. Some common questions are, what are the hours? You can expect to work a regular 40-ish hour work week. It's really going to depend on your lab though, and the type of research that you're doing, what the hours are. So for instance, if you're doing animal work and you have experiments that require you to come check in on your animals every 24 hours, then you might have to be there on a Saturday. If you have experiments that require you to check in every 12 hours, you might have to come in on an evening. So there can be some flexibility with when the hours are. And again, that's just going to depend on what lab you go to, but you should expect that it is a full-time job. And for this reason, you may not take any classes over the summer or have another job. You need to, it's only 10 weeks, and that's a really short amount of time to do research. So we really need your full focus on your research the whole time. For undergraduate students, you need, again, to be on campus for these 10 weeks from May 22nd to July 28th. I think with graduate students, there's some wiggle room if you're attending conferences or doing something that, that's understandable. But for our undergrads, we really need you on campus so that you can get this hands-on experience. And we have a question, Olivia.
Hi, so I'm currently a sophomore at Xavier University of Louisiana, and basically our semester was pushed back because of technical issues on campus, so we will not get out of school until around the 24th. Will there be any wiggle room for that, or should I look into like applying next year instead?
That is really interesting. I would think that we would be able to accommodate that if it's just a few days, and that's going to be move-in week. You might miss like the welcome dinner.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a pretty strong reason.
Okay, thank you.
To miss the first few days. So maybe make a note of that, and I'll make a note. We'll make a note.
Danielle, we may need to talk to their campus about this because we were unaware of that. I was unaware of it.
Yeah, we have a lot of applicants from Xavier. So
all hands went up.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you.
Okay, who is next?
I'll put down what?
iPhone 8.
I believe that's me.
You can just keep talking.
I'm sorry. I just had a question. So it's no summer classes at all. Like even if I were to take 1 or 2 summer classes that will be online, you still would rather us not, or?
Correct. I mean, and again, 10 weeks, it's all summer, but it is a very short time to conduct research and to get everything together. You will, our participants will also be presenting posters at the end. So you're not only going to a lab and learning new techniques and getting experience, you're also, putting together a project that needs to be cohesive, right?
Okay.
All right, next question.
Is the other iPhone.
Oh, I think that's me. My name is
Okay.
Ashley. I had a question. On the weekends, are we allowed, like, is there any time that we are allowed to go home at all?
Yes, you can go home. The only thing I think is that we're checking in to see if our grant will cover your travel expenses for coming into town to move in, for driving in and for leaving. I would think the only thing is that we would probably not cover your expenses for going back and forth.
Okay.
And a lot of it
And
depends.
also,
A lot of it's going to depend on the lab and what's required of you. So you're going to have to work that out with your lab mentor. For
Right.
that.
Again, if you have those experiments that need to have certain time points that you need to check in, then there might not be that flexibility.
okay. And also, I had a question, like, are we gonna be on a meal plan on
No.
campus?
No, meals are not provided.
Okay.
You
Thank
will
you.
be receiving a stipend, which should be sufficient to cover meals and things like
Okay.
that.
Right. The award for summer for undergraduates is $4,000. For grad students, it's $6,000. And, you have no rent in that time. Your travel, everything is on campus. So all of your, utilities and everything will be covered. Just not food. And Miss Hollingsworth, can you pronounce your first name for me?
It's Maya.
Hi, Mahia.
So my question is, well, just reiterating what you said before. You said that there is going to be some type of transportation on campus to get to and from like the lab facilities, or
Yes, there's a bus system. If you have a car, then we'll set you guys up with parking permits. And again, we'll try to group you in a housing situation with at least one person who has a car if the need should arise for that.
Yeah, there's a reason why we asked that question on the application. Is just so that we can arrange it that way if possible.
But the bus system here at LSU is really, really great. I think buses in some locations come around every 10 minutes. So you shouldn't have any problem getting around campus, getting to different labs. They even go
actually track where the bus is, and
the buses even go downtown. So if you're interested in exploring Baton Rouge a little while you're here and have some free time, the buses can take you around to the different parts of the city.
We've had students get together and organize little field trips on their own during the weekends whenever they could find time to go to New Orleans and other places around, especially those from up north. So that's not uncommon at all. We just want to make sure you're safe and everything too.
And so then besides doing some of your own traveling, coming up with your own things, we do organize with another organization on campus. I know, did you see that transition? We do organize social activities for you guys that are with, we work with other undergraduate summer research programs. So it won't only be people participating through LBRN, but in other departments, I know like astronomy does one, physics has one. I don't know who else, but there are a lot of students, and we'll do a welcome dinner typically in the first week. In the past, we've done things like a softball game. I'm really interested in bringing at least our students to the Art and Science Museum downtown. I know in the past they've done stuff at
we have not done that before. That'd be pretty.
I know, that's crazy. The LA Tech has an exhibit there right now that's Art in Science. They have a whole program for it.
So we've done field trips to Pennington, field trips to the National Primate Center in Covington. We've done stuff like that, Daniel.
Very cool.
And as well as the vet school itself, vet school tours.
I need to go on one of those still. Yeah, so there will be, lots of activities, lots of opportunities for you guys to not just network, which is really important, but also, hopefully just make some friends with people who have similar interests and goals to you. Our graduate students, I think I mentioned for our undergrads earlier that you guys will do a poster, you'll present a poster presentation at the end of the summer. It will all kind of culminate in that. And that's something that we do with all of the undergrads across summer programs. For graduate students, you guys are going to get a lot of similar training opportunities, the lab experience, and you guys will give a final report at the end. At the end of the session, you will be invited to present a poster and give an oral presentation at the LBRN's annual meeting, which is held in January. This past year, we had it, not this past year, this past January, we had it here at LSU in Baton Rouge. Next year, it'll probably either be here again or we're looking into venues in New Orleans as well. We had almost 200 people come to the one in January. So it's a pretty good sized conference and we cover everything for that. We cover your lodging to come and stay at a hotel. We cover your mileage. If you drive in, you get reimbursed for all of your travel expenses. So that's something that not just graduate students, but that we encourage everyone who is funded through the LBRN to come and be a part of and participate in. We want to have as many people there as possible that are involved with our program.
Danielle, can you go back a slide for me? I want to bring up something, if that's okay. For the undergraduate student, go to the undergrad. Yeah. For the undergraduate students, I want to reiterate. So your research culminates at the very end in a poster presentation. We're going to help you, in your lab's going to help you put together this poster with the research that you've done over the summer. It's a poster that you get to keep. You can use that and apply to other conferences with your undergraduate research. And we may even support you attending those if you let us know about them, if you've been accepted, if your abstract's been accepted. The other thing is, for the undergraduates, we will invite you to our annual meeting and we will also support you coming to the meeting in terms of travel and whatnot to present your work that you did over the summer. So it's not required as it is for the graduate students, but we do invite the undergraduate students to that as well. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. All right, then for faculty, the funding is a little bit different. You're not traveling somewhere to do your research. You can be funded for up to 3 months. And, Brent's already talked a little bit about, what we're looking to fund for our faculty members. And same as our graduate students, you guys will be required to give an oral and poster presentation at the annual meeting, just like you saw in January. Something of note is that travel accommodations, everything for the conference is covered separately. So you don't have to write that into your budget proposal. You don't need to include the travel for your students for that conference. What's your question?
Like, sorry, coming again for the question. So I'm a faculty that has a startup fund which provided for 50% of the equipment, didn't provide for personnel. So can I request that I may be eligible, hopefully, so that I can get at least something to work on with my mentor during the summer? So in short, can the summer provide for some support, even though I have a startup fund?
Yes.
Double thank you. So, and to reiterate, so you mentioned new techniques and experimental models. So, so so I would still like to focus on that work which has the equipment support, but only then I'm learning new techniques, of course, new models, of course. But the domain, can I still keep it the same? So is that okay? The area can still be the same
Yes.
because you said, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Excuse me. So our LBRN participants of the summer program have gone on to, or not gone on, but used their research to get onto publications, right? For the work that they conducted over the summer, as well as go on to present at conferences.
Yeah, with the publications, yeah, what's happened is as part of the research in the lab, they ended up being co-authors on the, because they did the research. So that's how they ended up on publications.
If you're an undergrad, this looks so good. This gives you such a leg up on everybody else. Really, this is, I think that's such an outstanding opportunity to have a published paper, to be on a paper as an undergrad, and also to have the opportunity to present. And again, as John mentioned, if you submit your work and you get accepted to present at a conference, let us know and we will see what we can do to give you support to travel to those conferences, because we really want you to present your work. We want you to share it and, you know, and show what research was conducted through our funding mechanism. So we really encourage that. All right, how to apply? John, can you put that link in the chat?
So yeah, I've actually done it once, but
Okay.
some people have arrived since then. There we go.
All right, if you haven't started, click it now. It's so easy. It's really easy to get started. Everything is due March 29th. That is coming up very quickly, but that's okay, because especially for undergrads, it's not that involved, and we are here to help you every step along the way so that you can get all of these things turned in time and have everything looking good. The first thing that you're going to do is click on the link, sign in with your email address, and you will receive, and that's it. That's the first part. Easy. You'll get an email notification that your application has been started. We'll confirm your email that way and your eligibility. And from there, you can log back into your application and you can save it and go back in anytime. So remember to save it as you go and just, you know, work on it until the 29th when everything needs to be in. The first big step is going to be contacting a mentor that you want to work with. Everyone that is participating in the summer program has to have a mentor. There is within the application a list of professors who have already agreed to take students on in their labs over the summer. So if you look those professors up on LSU's website, see what their research interests are, see who you might be interested in working with. They are expecting people to get in touch with them and just say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from this institution. I'm applying for funding to do research over the summer. I'm interested in coming to your lab, and just see, make sure that they have space available, because there may be other students that are looking into the same one. And
they understand that there's an application process and you don't get accepted into our program until probably we'll let everyone know by the end of April, I think.
Right, definitely by the end of April. Right, and exactly, they know the deal, they understand the process.
And they may ask you for more information than what we're asking for. So you may end up repeating some of it directly to them so that they can learn more about you.
Yeah, because they want to make sure that you will be a good fit for their lab as well. If you look through that list and you don't see anyone that you're really excited about, then we've also listed here some other departments that might have good labs. I know not on that list are anyone from comparative biomedical sciences or pathobiological sciences. And I didn't list on here also veterinary sciences. So go onto LSU's website, look through those department pages and find the faculty that you want to work with. You can reach out to anyone. They understand, they know that students come in to conduct summer research. It's not going to surprise anyone or offend anyone. Yeah, Mahia.
And before anyone panics, you do not have to have this mentor decided by the end of our deadline.
Yes, right. Put your prospective mentor into the application, but we understand that could change, and that's okay. What's our question?
I just wanted to ask again, around what time will we hear back again?
At the end of April.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. If you have any trouble getting in touch with a mentor or finding someone who is a good fit for you, you can, again, email us at lbrn@lsu.edu, or you can email Dr. Stanfield directly. He knows a lot of people. He's in the lab. He can give some good insight and recommendations for people that may be looking for students.
So Danielle, Alex has a question in the chat. How do we know what topic the mentors will research for the program?
So their faculty pages usually have a description of what they work on. And if that interests you, I would suggest emailing them regarding your interest in this summer research. The faculty, you can mention to them that your funding would also account for, I think undergraduates get like $1,000 or something.
Up to $1,000 in supplies, graduate students up to $2,000.
Yeah. So
faculty, it's all in your budget.
Yeah. So the faculty you'll be emailing about research in their lab will be very excited because, having a free student worker in the lab for 3 months, and so to offer you the training opportunity, but also it also helps them out because they'll have more people in the lab working on different research topics that they might not have the capacity to handle right now. So I mean, this is all going to be a discussion you have, but a brief overview of their research is usually provided on their faculty page.
And for undergraduates, you're going to do whatever research they're going to have you do. I mean, that's the fact of it. You generally aren't. So you're picking in general by picking the mentor or contacting that mentor. For graduate students.
But are you a graduate student though?
Alex. Undergrad. Okay.
Undergrad. Okay. If you are a grad student, I guess we can go ahead and mention that you are welcome to do research that contributes to your dissertation or thesis.
Yeah, and that's the idea. I mean, the idea is for you to come to a lab that is experienced in a specific technique or model or research area, and come to their lab, learn the skills and the techniques that maybe are directly related to your thesis, and then take that back to your lab with you, and now you are the expert and you have the capabilities to conduct that same research at your institution.
Alex asked, should we message multiple mentors?
You certainly can. You cast a wide net, see who's available, and yeah, I mean,
See,
Great.
absolutely.
yeah, see which
Yeah,
one
we,
you would like
we-
the most. I mean, some people are pretty busy and it's hard to get around to answering all the emails that people get. So if you might want to apply, reach out to a few prospective mentors and then go from there.
And again, if you have trouble getting in touch with someone, let us know and we'll pester them.
yeah, I remember one mentor saying that she would not respond until she got 3 emails from the same person. Yeah, the faculty or faculty. I can't help it, you know. But she wanted someone who was persistent.
Oh no, I never. Who wants more emails?
I know.
That's it. But okay.
But what I was gonna say is, but obviously, as a courtesy, when you do get accepted and you tell the mentor that you've been accepted, that you chose, do the courtesy of letting the other ones know that you're unavailable now so that they can make, they probably know that they're getting lots of students asking. They may say yes to several on the contingent that depending on who gets accepted, they'll get to say, okay, you're okay, I'll take you, and that kind of thing. So let them know to free that space up.
All right, I'm gonna go quickly through these last slides since we're getting short on time. Again, we have our last session of this posted on our website. And in that one, John actually goes through the application. So there's a video of that, of what you can expect if you want to go watch that one and have someone walk you through step by step how that's going to go. For undergrads, all right, you got a mentor. You've reached out to a mentor. You have someone to put down in your application. That's great. Your next things that you need to upload are a statement of interest. The bullet points are there for a reason. Just address the questions and please give it some thought, because we read a lot of these and we just want to know, what's interesting about you, what makes you a good candidate for this. If you don't have research experience, that's okay. We're not looking to fund people who are already research scientists. That's why we're here. And so you can talk about any kind of life experiences that would contribute to this. That can be anything. You can talk about what first sparked your interest in science. What are your plans for after you graduate? Just, yeah, answer the questions and be thoughtful about it, because we want to know more about you. Undergrads will also need 3 letters of recommendation, 2 of them from faculty or people in science.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be your faculty, I guess. If you have professors that know you personally, that's wonderful. Talk to them. If you don't, that's okay too. Professors understand that part of their job is going to be writing letters of recommendation. If you reach out to someone and you took their class, but you never really interacted with them, give them information about yourself. You can say, hi, I took your class. I always arrived on time. I ask really interesting questions and I take great notes. I'm very eager and curious. And, tell them, reiterate your great qualities to them, especially if you don't know them that well. They will use that as fuel in your letter of recommendation. That make it easy for them. And that's great, because then they know a little bit more about you, and just like everybody else in this process, they want to see you succeed. They want to send students to be funded and do this. So help them help you. We also need, for undergrads and grad students alike, a transcript that can either be official from your campus or unofficial. that the unofficial ones are pretty easy and quick to get. For grad students, it's going to be the same thing, the statement of interest. You need 2 letters of recommendation from, more specific people, like someone on your grad committee, and your transcript. That's all in the application. And then faculty has to, a bit more complex because you have to do a whole proposal.
Yeah, the graduate students and faculty, there's a packet and instructions because you have to submit a package to us. So we have that on the website.
Right. And I guess we'll mention here that for grad students and faculty, this is considered a competitive award. The funds, most of the funds that we have, we expect to allocate to undergrad students. That's really the whole purpose of the grant, is to, or the major purpose of it is to contribute to undergraduate training
For the summer, yeah.
for the summer, right? And then this kind of goes over everything that we talked about. You'll do that pre-application just to verify your email. Once you have that, you're in. You can save it as you go. You have until March 29th to upload everything. And but you will not personally upload your letters of recommendation. You will, is that link for them in the form? Okay, so in your application, you will receive a link that you will send to people that you would like a letter of recommendation from. Make sure that they have your email address because they can enter it, and then that way you will be notified whenever they submit their letters. All right, and then the only other thing that can change after the deadline is your mentor. Let us know if your mentor changes. All right, and we did it. Questions?
Yep.
Oh, I think you're on mute.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted myself. I mean, this is like, I haven't read the detailed document, so I'm just kind of been lazy here. So what is the outline of the budget for a faculty proposal? Broadly,
$19,000.
$10,000.
19.
Oh, okay. And what goes in where? Broad outline? I mean, very, very broad.
It's all in the it's all in there in the application request for proposals.
Oh, the packet there, right?
Yeah. So
And that's all on the website.
yeah.
Just a
If
second.
you
Oh,
go into that link in the chat.
Yeah, it would be like 3 months of your salary, supplies, any support for students or technicians over the summer, general costs regarding what your research requires.
okay. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, and I see we have some questions in the chat. How many students will be able to attend? It really depends where you are. We have 16 rooms available that have been reserved for students who are traveling, but we also have students that are local who apply, like students at Southern who are not eligible for accommodations. So since they live in town, but we will have for undergrads and grad students who are being housed, there are 16 slots for that. But again, we hope to fund more than that.
yeah, traditionally, we've been able to take 20 to 25. I just know from past. Yes, letters of recommendation need to be in by the deadline. I'm not sure what you mean by interview process.
There's no interview process. We get your application March 29th, they're done. We review all of them and then we'll let you know. So that's why it's really important in those letters of interest to tell us about yourself, because that's your shot. There's no interview. That's it. And Did I miss anything?
Nope.
All right, great. Any last questions? Any final words? All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming. Again, email
Yeah.
us if you have any questions. We really hope to see you guys here soon. We hope to work with you this summer.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank
Have
you
a nice
guys.
day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.